Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tally the Votes Survivor Australia versus the World Edition. I'm here with my fellow Survivor fanatics, Christy and David. Hey, guys,
Hello.
are we pretty
What's up?
excited? Pretty excited about this season and everything we've seen so far?
Yes.
It's been great.
I
There's a lot to cover because so
I
much has
feel
happened.
like overall there was a lot of hype and fans were super duper excited for this. And it
Yeah.
was one of those things where like the anticipation was growing and growing and growing. When would it start? When were they gonna do it? Lots of talk about it. And then like you all they can do is disappoint, right? Typically.
Yes.
They're not. So
No.
far I'm it holds up. So that's rare in the entertainment world, but we have it here.
Yes. It's been a great first three episodes. So this season of Survivor is going to give us the rare opportunity to watch kings and queens and champions and gods go toe to toe, claim
But
international crown for sole survivor,
but no jungle rats.
but no jungle rats. We are going to cover it all starting right now. So we're going to break it down. We have two tribes. We have the Aussie players versus the world, an internationally stacked tribe. David has the breakdown of each tribe and its members. So, David, you go ahead.
Well, we'll start with the world, and the biggest player is Rob Bentele, and he's 34 years old, and he is a one-time player and a one-time winner.
All right.
One for one. That's pretty good odds going in.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. Continuing on the world, we all know and love Suri.
Yep.
You know,
Greatest player to never win anything.
always thought she'd be better on Big Brother, but I was wrong.
Yes. You were.
She's always enjoyable though. I love Suri.
Yes, I definitely love her.
Again, continuing on the world, we have Cass. She played Survivor Quebec second season. She's 33 years old. Looks 25, I have to say.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that girl can wear a bikini. I'm saying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good, Cass.
Well done. We have Lisa Holmes, Survivor Canada, I think.
No, she's the New Zealand. She
New
Oh, she's
Zealand.
New
currently lives
Zealand.
currently lives in Canada, but she is New Zealand.
Okay,
One
yeah, and she's
she won New Zealand, right? And
right,
it's the
The
only
one and only
episode or
season
every
they had.
season they ever had. Yes.
and she
One
is
for
She's
one.
she's 44, but I don't know how long ago the New Zealand season was.
she is the most winningest player ever in New Zealand Survivor history.
She has a perfect record.
Yes.
And then we have the legend, the Black Widow herself, Poverty.
Yes.
She's exactly the same as she was.
Truly.
Looking as good at 42 as she did at 21. I don't know. She's
Oh,
clearly made a deal with the devil.
Yeah. You
oh,
got
I
it.
mean, you know what? Every time I see Poverty, I love her more and more.
Oh yeah, she's getting better as she's
Better,
aging.
Yeah.
She's become
like
much cooler.
she's
Yeah.
much cooler. She's like
Yeah.
way more like chill, and I love her.
And coming from the world, we have Tommy, and Tommy's 34, and Tommy played. Let me look.
Finland,
Yes.
Survivor Finland.
Finland. Yep,
Yes. The
Finland.
lone wolf.
And he is the lone wolf. And that's I guess it's not the golden god, but it's a
I like
Still a
it.
cool nickname. Come on.
It's pretty sweet.
it's an ethos.
It'd be like the name of somebody on like Cobra Kai or something.
Yeah,
The
Yep.
yeah.
Lone Wolf.
hmm
It's cool. It's cool.
And then you say the lone wolf, and then you have to have the sound
Right.
effect, that ah woo in the background.
Right. Exactly. You exactly understood what I meant.
And finally, rounding out the world, we have the winningest person in Survivor history, in Tony. Spy
Mr.
Shack Tony,
Tony.
back at 51. 51, Tony, give it up.
Good
Give
at
it up for
Survivor, not as good at Traders, but good at Survivor. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff.
Who is really? Okay, now turning to the host country, we have the Golden God himself, David Gannett, coming off his big win on
Deal or No.
One.
Yeah.
Was that what it was? Yep. Where he worked with one of the
Harv-
world players, and that became quite a thing in episode 1.
Sure did.
Then next up, we have my favorite player of all time, King George.
He did so much for Australian Survivor. Without him, it would not be the global phenomenon that it is. But continue, sorry.
It's true.
His ego is as robust as his dad bod.
Ooh, is it ever?
He truly is. He truly is. But that man can rock a banana hammock.
That's not the part that. But his little Speedo is perfectly fine. It's the fact that his idol tattoo looks like a third nipple. That's the part
It does
throwing
kinda.
me. It looks.
And he's got the other one on his hand, right?
Yep.
I don't know, but he's got a third nipple, and that's all I see. So.
And next up, we have Janine of Melbourne.
The biggest executive.
Yes, in Australia, she is 58 years old and is the oldest player on Survivor.
Janine's been kind of cool. I like
She
her.
was like she was super cool her season, honestly.
No, she was.
She makes us feel proud to be the ages that we
She was.
Yeah,
And
she's good.
and next we have at 38 years old from Melbourne, we have Kirby, who may be playing the best game so far.
Yeah, 'cause she's awesome.
A perennial favorite on AU Survivor, Luke Toki. You gotta love Lukey.
the last king alive, right? The last
the king of
Last-
the last
The
king
last
of the.
living king. Yes,
This is like Game of Thrones with the kings and the gods.
it
And,
really is.
we have at 29 years old, we have Sarah, who played in Survivor 2. At 29 again, looking pretty
Sarah.
fine. Looking
Sarah,
pretty fine.
Sarah.
Matter of fact,
I
I'm
mean,
looking for a poverty cast Sarah alliance, and I don't know. We'll call them like the
I don't know
models or
that there
something.
would be an alliance. I'm thinking we're gonna face a showdown.
I mean, I can understand why you,
Yes,
Mr. David
yes,
God,
would like
would
an
want to
alliance.
see that.
Well, no.
threesome.
I speak for literally every red-blooded male
Yes.
who's ever walked the earth.
I mean, some
Wants
females
that.
as well. I mean,
Well, fair.
but
Fair.
but I don't
let's
think
get
that's
real
going to happen.
though. There's no way. There's no.
That
way.
has less chance of than an actual girl alliance.
Yep.
And
think.
finally, we have the player who's played the most ever Australian Survivor, Shawnee. 32 years old, but she's come back changed. Mom of 1, and after this season was filmed, announced baby number 2 is on the way.
Really? Well,
Now she was not
congratulations,
pregnant when
Shawnee. Well, I would
when
hope
the
not.
show was
No.
filmed, right?
And I
no,
hope she was still not pregnant when the show ended. And
well, that would be hopeful.
congratulations, Shawnee.
Yes.
I will say this: she keeps finding that same dang dress, don't she?
Okay, I was just gonna ask, is that the same dress or am I
Yes,
crazy?
that's her
Okay.
thing. She
That's her
brings it
thing,
out.
but
right.
but it's not the same one. She gets another one. Come on. There's no way that one has been that many days out there and looked like that.
She has like extras, right?
She has somebody. She has a lady making them for her. Probably. She's probably got like the
Yes.
entire bolt of fabric. She's gonna keep rolling them
She
out.
owns the bolt of fabric.
Okay.
Well,
Well, that's a very
all of our
impressive
players.
lineup, right?
Yeah, we've got some really big hitters. And then there's a few that we don't really know because we haven't watched their country's show,
But some of them have sure been impressive early on.
they really have. And I do know that they're fan favorites from their series. So it's kind of great to have everybody together and get to see.
I don't know.
Sort of,
So far this little mini game like that, or kind of how they're doing it, where it's like sped up, and these people, they don't have to be explained how the game plays, they know, so you can speed it up.
Yep.
Do you think they'll do more of these like national different whatever matchups? I think it's so
hope
fun.
So.
I think
really
it's so fun.
like I really like that. Unlike when we have return player shows where we got like all stars, and so on. This isn't just all stars. Like all of these players are at the same level,
Mm-hmm.
and so they can just take off running and know exactly what to do and who to go to and what to expect from whom, because these aren't players that were, you know, that aren't well known, that did okay or did pretty good or just had a great personality. These players all have a certain
Significant
caliber of
players.
talent,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really fun getting to see like this many professionals come in
Yeah,
and
I
play this
agree. I
game.
agree 100% with what you're saying, Jamie. And what I've loved about it is there's none of this bull crap. I'm voting with the tribe. I'm voting to keep the tribe strong. They're like, hell no, threat
There's
gone.
Because they don't have time
realistically,
for it.
yeah,
Even
They
if they
just
had
can't.
time, these guys would play this way anyway. They would play to eliminate the threats from
Well,
vote one.
but I think also when you have a longer season, you have to pace yourself. You can't
you
come out guns blazing. But with this, they can. They were
they
at
Well,
have
they're
yeah,
already on
11
day
in
5
medium
of 16.
immediately.
So we've
yeah.
seen now 5 days.
Yeah,
Right. We're
it's
So
a
we've
third
got
of
seen
the
a
way
almost a
there.
third
way
of
to
it.
go. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So they hit the
Mm.
ground running. They run hard, and they're all running at a fairly equal pace, which is making it really interesting because there's a lot of talking about loyalty, and let's face it, I think something that we are seeing in this game, like something we are really being introduced to in this version of Survivor, is that there is no place for loyalty. In any other version of Survivor we've seen, there has to be a certain level of loyalty. It's almost like against the rules in this version. Like
So you're
you
saying like Joe
can't.
and Ava should not come and play this version?
Nope. Nope.
Who?
Joe and Ava.
Oh,
How
are they
soon?
post
How soon?
season 40? I have no
No,
recollection.
Okay.
no loyalty to be had. It's clear right from the
Mhm.
get-go. Like no one has any loyalty to another person, and there's no time for it.
And you know what's been great? 3 episodes in, and there hasn't been a sad, so very sad story.
There's
It's
no
so
No
time,
sad
refreshing.
story.
There's no time. They're
No
running.
sad story.
They're running to that finish
Well, that's
line.
what
They don't
Jeff will
have
do.
time.
He'll have a short game when we all the sad stories. Let's bring all the saddest stories we can find
I'm
back.
going to tell you this, David. I'm going to tell you this. If I had not been as busy as I was today, I did fully plan on bringing in an empty jar, and I was going to start throwing coins in. Every single time you bring up Jeff's name, it's going in the jar. And I'm going to make a public display about it. Because we're in Australia, baby. We're not.
Oh, and we haven't even talked yet about what happened to
We're-
JLP and
We are-
how I figure Jeff is definitely behind
We're all
that.
in our happy place right now. So we're going to stay in our happy place and we're going to jump onto these episodes.
Lots
All
to be
right,
happy
all
about.
right.
And
All
we are
right,
gonna-
I have been suitably reprimanded already.
and we are going to go right into the season. It starts right at the competition. We have the big competition, the slide, the net, the sandbags. Ring the bell first. You earn an item from the supply shelf, including a mystery box. The contents, it's a mystery.
Biggest shock of this challenge, Suri won her round.
Yes, she did.
I think that's the first thing she's ever accomplished in a
Sweet
challenge.
girl.
She
And
did it.
She
She
kept
did
it
it.
low key. She didn't like. she was
I mean,
just like,
the only
like,
thing
"Oh,
more
this
shocking
one's
would be Sandra winning something.
Yes.
right.
Yes.
No, and the
Well-
way they were coming off of that slide and immediately like
Flipping into that
diving
sand,
under
yep.
the net. I don't know how they were doing it. It was magic, guys.
It
Oh, the
was
whole
ouch,
the,
ouch,
just the
ouch.
difference with the intensity with these players because
Yeah.
they know they can't afford it. I mean, it's just incredible.
There's no
Yeah.
time. Gotta go.
That's
Gotta
great.
win. So each team ends up with a handful of goods, from fruit to flint, tarps, comfort items. But the box belongs to Team World. With one catch, there's no key. There's no key. So Christy, I mean, did you assume that the key would be hidden in the jungle, or did you think there would be like a different?
Well, they had later on. There was the whole thing about they were wondering, is it at the other camp? Is this
Yeah.
something that has to become a cooperative thing? And I thought, if they did that, then that has Jeff Probst's name all over it. I don't like it.
It does. Yes.
Okay.
It would too. It would.
But
Christy,
it tur-
Christy, I'm going to go ahead and put those quarters in for you. I got you covered.
So you know what I mean? I'd like that would have been one thing. Like, how are they going to twist this? Now it does take a while for them to find it. My husband's of the mind that it was never out there until the day they found it. There's no way they're walking around not seeing it. And I go, well, they could do that, but I don't know. They have been actively looking for it for 5 days
Yeah, but-
until they
And
found
honestly,
it.
if you
Flipping
didn't know you were
things and-
looking for a key, it was above eye level. Well, not for her, it was, but so I don't know. It's like there's an awful lot of trees out there.
There are,
There are a few.
yeah.
You can almost picture production pointing.
That's the
And there was
thing about a
literally
jungle.
And
There's
there was
a lot
no
of trees.
clue because, like, lots of times when there's things hidden in the jungle, they'll give a clue, like, look for the X or
A
whatever.
map
And they'll
or
be like
something,
2
yeah.
palms that are like this, or they give you something to kind of let you know, okay, this general area, it's got to be over here.
But
Yeah.
before
they
we
had
even got to
nothing.
that, Luke finds an idol, right?
Right, and he
Yeah.
found that. Well, sorry, we're jumping the gun. Sorry, Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, we're getting all out of sequence.
That was
There's so
episode
much.
1.
There's
but
just
they,
there's so much going on that it's hard to like kind of.
but he
to follow
hasn't had
the
to play
lines.
it yet, so he'll have that in his pocket.
There we go. Ting ting in the jar. At the World Camp, Parv and Suri, they're old friends, so they kind of know they're going to stick together. Rob and Cass insist that the internationals stick together as they have the numbers, and Lisa's a little bit starstruck with Miss Suri, and Suri will use this to her advantage later. Parv
Did
sets
you
her-
believe though that? Do you think that's
100%,
she was really
100%.
starstruck, or was
Oh, yeah.
it I'm gonna pretend to be starstruck, or I am, but I'm gonna use that to my advantage to
No,
endear them to
I
me?
think she was like trying her best to play it cool, and then was like, "Oh my god!" ah."
I
Lisa,
can't believe
you're
Suri's
cool.
working with me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it just spilled out.
Well,
She's
well,
got very excited about it.
I mean, let's face it, an American should have gone home.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was the numbers.
That
They
was
were
the move.
numbers. That's where the numbers were laying. So, but I mean, we do have Parv, and like right off the bat, Parv set her
Oh.
teeth into Rob, and he attempts to hypnotize her with his eyes.
Mm.
So that was really fun. There was
Oh,
like
there
a
was
little,
that like they were
little
both trying to
crisscross.
hypnotize
Oh.
each other.
That was awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
and
That was a
she-
great scene.
She tempts
How they were
him with
flirting
that,
back and forth. It was like the same.
Yeah, they had
like,
that same
MO.
flirty
Yeah, it was
thing
good.
happening.
Yeah.
And she tempts him with the knowledge that she's worked with David on Deal or No Deal Island. But Rob doesn't take the bait. Like, he acts like he did, but he doesn't take the bait on it. At Camp Australia, George and Shawnee have to clear the air. They have a little bit of tension. They need to talk about it.
Oh,
Shawnee
greatest
knows that-
comment Shawnee made.
Shawnee knows that she can't trust George. She acts like she'll work with him, but of course she knows she can't trust him. And so she begins alliance talk with Kirby. And David and Luke take in George's suggestion that they work with him, but David really has no loyalty to George's Power Bottoms
The
alliance.
power bottoms.
Yeah.
Okay,
He was
David,
like, fine, I don't care. That's a man who's secure with his sexuality. He's fine with it. He'll be
David,
a
how
power
long
bottom.
do you
Whatever.
think George held on to that alliance name, just like waiting
Oh,
for
I
the
think
opportunity
seasons.
to use it? He had it in his back pocket.
Well, what just happened here?
Well, because I don't know, but hi. There was no way that shouldn't even fit for them because none of them were really on the bottom.
No,
You
these
know
are
what I
top
mean?
dogs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you trying to? Is this
Yeah,
like
Christy,
a
that
big
isn't
guy
what they
calling
meant,
himself
but okay.
tiny?
I understand that, but for it to have a double meaning, it has to actually fit the situation also.
No double entendre.
Right,
available.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not as clever as just
Yes.
giving it like you know what I mean?
I agree.
Well,
I,
it would
I
have been,
loved.
it actually would have been better if there was like 3 gay guys and they decided to
Absolutely.
have that name because
But
that would be
that's
that would be
who I was
hilarious.
also.
I love David's like, yeah,
Sure, we'll do that.
That's fine. Whatever you want, mate. That's good.
So before we go on, do we think that David knew going into the filming of this season that he was going to be the host?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know because he didn't seem very upset about getting voted off.
I don't think that he knows. I don't think that he
Okay.
knew.
There's a
Because
reason
JLP
why.
Because JLP, I mean, JLP did talk about being blindsided himself. I don't think that he knew.
I think that David didn't know. I think he's playing against really good players. He knows they're really good. And the fact that they saw him as the threat that had to go number 1 is kind of a little bit of a compliment, right? The first one, we had to get him out. But also, Homeboy has a lots and
Lots of monies.
so he doesn't have to care anymore
He
about,
can just
you
go and
know,
have fun.
yeah, his
He's
dream
just,
of reuniting his family all together has happened.
yep.
Yeah.
He's just there to have fun.
Yeah.
So they go into this challenge, and it's this the typical slingshots, heavy boxes, like huge boxes, and we got to have a really great moment where David shows them what it means to be a survivor god.
The Hulk.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh,
unreal.
lifting that block out, and it was a tight race. They were neck and neck for a lot of the game, but in the end, Australia wins. I think by one tile. So one
Yes.
shot, Australia wins. So this means that the world has to go to tribal, and Rob wants Parv to vote out Suri. She's unwilling, and so
Yeah.
Rob thinks that he can maybe rally Tony and Suri, since Parv isn't working for
But
him.
but this has to be, you guys had to think this was a dumb move for him to go there. To get, like, if you go up to Parv and you say put out Suri, or you go like you try and get them to turn on each other already,
Yeah,
dude, it's not gonna happen. But you have 4 other people. Talk to them about which one you're
just
gonna
vote
vote
who you
off.
want to vote out.
Rob's
Yeah.
mistake was not going to Parv and going, "What do you want to do?"
Yeah, yes.
Because if he'd have gone to her and said, "What do you want to do? I want to work with you, and I'll do whatever you tell me to," he'd still be in the game.
He would, but if he had gotten the 4 of, because they were
Or if
4
he
to
just
3.
got his international players,
Yes,
and
they
just
didn't need to even tell them.
Well,
what they
but the
were
problem
doing.
is our New Zealand player wasn't going along with that.
But I don't think that he was aware of that. Like, I don't think that he
didn't
thought
even-
that.
Well, maybe it was editing, but it
And he
didn't-
was,
they
and he
didn't
of
show us
course
what
was
he tried.
running around telling all the international
Ooh,
players what to do,
What to do? Yes,
That
as if
doesn't
which
always work out.
has such a history of working on Survivor.
yeah,
Yeah.
Parvati's like, this is my 5th time out here. 5th
Like,
time.
come
You
on.
played one
I know
time.
what you're doing.
Like, come on, dude. Like, don't
Well,
try to act like you're gonna tell her what
And
to
Sari
do.
is like, Sari pointed out, like, you don't be running around telling everybody what to do. Like, I don't like that he's trying to run things. So Parv suggests that they get Lisa, and that they could just go for Rob. Okay, there we go. We have this one other person. So now the fate is this person going to betray the internationals and come with us? And they go to tribal. And at tribal, Sari points out, and I love that she does this because this is such a Sari thing, that
Ooh.
strong does not mean physical. It just doesn't always
Which
mean
is
physical.
which
Well,
is perfect coming
It's
from
true,
her.
but it's also self-serving coming
Right,
from
it's
her.
Absolutely.
true for her.
I am
But-
physically unable to perform the challenges, therefore I have to
But
make this
yeah,
argument.
But don't you worry about it.
But she
I'm strong enough.
She proves the point. I mean, they prove the point over and over again. Sense that is true. That strength doesn't always mean physical. Rob announces that Parv and David have worked together.
Which was
a
a smart move at that point because it could have turned the tribe against her.
Because he didn't have
could've.
anything else, right?
But yeah, you're going to throw it out there. It makes sense that he's going to try to do that. But this is Parv that we're talking about. And with the skill of a Black Widow, Parv rolls Rob up in her little web and takes her prey down. And Rob goes home on a 4-1 vote. Happy birthday to Parvati.
Yes. She was like, you tried to vote me out on my birthday? So she
good.
got him, right? She set her sights on him. But I think part of it, his downfall was just, barking orders at people like he was the boss. And just that ego of like, he was the alpha male at the group. And he just thought they needed him so bad that there's no way they're
That he
going
could
to
push
take
it.
me out.
Yeah, that he could push
Has
it.
anybody seen even an episode of South Africa?
I have seen the first episode of one of the seasons. but
Okay, I started
Because-
watching
And then-
his season.
And then I didn't see any more on Paramount after that.
Because all I wonder is like AU is arguably far more physical than US today. I wonder what South Africa's like. Is it more
Yeah.
physical? Is it a bunch of muscle bound dudes? You know.
I mean, I felt it was very like, yes, typical,
Athletic,
like
yeah.
a more Aussie down under situation, right? Maybe it's those Southern hemispheres. But I only was able to watch, I think, like 3 episodes. Oh, the accents were real hard, guys. I could not get my ear.
Definitely need some.
It was harder for
subtitles
me,
to be able to catch some of them.
but it was that season I wanted to watch specifically because I knew he was going to be on this. But apparently I only needed to watch three episodes because he's gone.
But and you know what, the only real downside I see in all of this with him going is that he had an excellent laugh. Like I loved his laugh. It was great. But
He looked like Craven the Hunter or something. Like he was trying to do
I
that,
thought that
right?
he looked like if you're a Grey's Anatomy fan, he looked like
Oh.
Avery's like super muscle bound big brother.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fair.
He looked very much like Avery to me. He's a
Yeah.
handsome guy, but
Yeah.
he's gone. He's a handsome guy not playing Survivor right now. So
And the other thing they had said was how Parvati said, "Oh, I know who you are because David's a huge fan of yours."
yes.
So that was interesting.
But I really do like that she was able to turn that around and be like, yeah, well, he screwed me over, so I don't want to
Yeah,
work with
right.
him.
We have bad blood. You don't even
Spoiler
know.
alert.
We hate each other.
I didn't say that we were besties, bro.
Yeah, we played together. That's all I said.
So before we go on to episode 2, I have a question. At the
Okay.
end of episode 1, what was your gut? What
What was
your gut after episode 1?
Oh,
As far as your overall impression of how the season would go?
I was ready to rock and roll. I was like,
Same,
this
yeah.
is good.
Hyped up.
It was
You
just,
got
it was like, it started with the beginning, right? They did that thing where they were flying in. David gets the truck and he's driving down
Oh
the
yeah,
highway.
their
They're
introductions
all
are
in
always
the thing,
so
yeah.
big
It
and
was
epic, and
it was so, but the episode continued kind of that energy level too. They did a great job.
yeah, they've knocked it out of the park. First episode,
Yeah, I think
really
David
great.
said-
Tribal was awesome.
David, what did you have to say? Didn't you text us after episode 1 and was like, "That's the best episode of Survivor I've seen in a long time"?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
undoubtedly, yeah, it was great.
certainly in the U.S. and I can say there's been some good AU stuff out there, but this is, I guess, it's not fair to compare anything else to it
Yeah, because
because
we kind of already knew that a
these
little bit.
players are so good. How could the show suck?
Right,
Yeah.
and they need no introduction.
No,
They
if
already are
Jeff was
familiar.
running the show, it could
Yeah.
suck. It could absolutely suck.
he would find a way.
But he would.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, we're going to jump in to the following day.
Yeah.
And Luke starts his morning out with 2 missions. 1, hide the bananas. 2, find the idol. He does
And that
both
was
of
not
these
a double
things.
entendre.
Do you think George helped him hide the bananas? I'm just saying.
Well, he is wearing the banana hammock, so that's where they should go.
Oh, and just a note to the king: if he ever wants to come, be a guest on a small podcast,
But
we'd love
friendly
to have him.
podcast. Yes.
A small but friendly podcast.
A small
Yeah.
friendly podcast with a bunch of gangs who know nothing about your country.
Well,
We probably know some things, but
Well, we
Well,
know that
everyone
French
knows.
fries are called crisps, so I feel like I'm half an Aussie now.
oh well.
I know that I
okay.
want nothing to do with the sausage sizzle. I can give you that much.
Jamie's
Okay.
secretly
Yes.
hoping she's invited to a sausage sizzle.
Like, oh my god, you guys! I tried to enjoy myself, but I just
After-
kept gagging at everything.
But she can't have the sausage sizzle until she finds the hidden bananas.
See it? You said it. I'm like, "Ugh." I just can't. It's just a word. I can't do it.
Ugh.
Okay, so the bananas are hidden. He snuck some bananas away, and then he finds
shared
an
with
idol.
David.
He finds himself an idol, and then David is, while he's doing all this, David is kind of trying to pull in Kirby, play some little magic, see what he could get back from Kirby.
But
But she's
Kirby is
aware.
holding the grip tonight.
Yes,
No.
She
she's
is
aware.
totally.
She knows.
She's
she
a
can
villain,
see
you
David.
guys.
She
is a villain.
I mean, she worked with Ferris for how long? She knows this kind of buttery, like.
I don't know. I like
she
her
gets
play this so far this season.
It's the same. It's literally
exact
the
same.
same.
Well,
It's the exact
okay,
same.
It's
okay,
literally
but
the
I
same.
didn't
She's-
think she was that good the first season.
That was wrong of you because she was really good.
She
But
was good.
now I
But
think that she would be probably the lowest person on the cast as far as the accomplishments, but yet she's maybe the best player.
Well, I talk about that a little bit in these notes here because there's a few different times that comes into play and is mentioned.
I cannot cheer for her. I can't. She's always playing against people. She always goes against the people I love. So
Well,
She always goes after the ones you like.
I spent an entire season hoping she would leave Ferris alone. Now she goes after my boy. This is enough, Kirby.
I get it. I
We're
get
not
where
going to be friends.
that's
Can I make a
that's
Save
squeaky wheel
Ferris
for
joke
you.
here? Or no, no Save Ferris.
No Save Ferris.
I bet you I had a Save Ferris banner that
Did you?
season. I bet
Okay.
I did.
Probably,
I
I
think
bet
you
we
probably
did.
did.
That sounds like something we would have done.
I have
Yes.
frozen.
Anyway.
Look at how lovely I look.
Oh, it's joyful.
Aw.
It's cute. There. Oh, he's
Little
back.
Max Headroom situation going on. Anyway.
So she kind of gets it though. She kind of sees what David's doing. And then she immediately begins checking in with others to kind of suss out who might be willing to target him. She asks who he is shielding. I love that. You know, and he's like, well, you could be my shield. And she's like, who are you shielding? You're all kings and queens.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
so great. Like, what are you talking about? However, Sarah might be willing to work with her. Then we jump over to our challenge. And we've got that like key hole ram with blocks in the bridge.
Really cool.
Loved this challenge. Loved
Yeah, it
it.
was
And I
interesting.
think I
Oh.
think I loved it in part because watching Tony lead his team was like he did so good.
Yes, he did.
So good.
He's
at
a good
leading
leader.
His team. It was amazing. They listened to him. They
And
trusted him.
the Aussies were fighting with each other.
Yeah, they all kind of wanted to do their own, do it their own way a little bit, but everyone on the international just took the lead with Tony, did as he said, so they were in lockstep, and they just hauled ass through that challenge. It was really fun to watch.
And in something like that, it's not so much that one person needs to be the boss. It's that
Yeah.
one person needs to
Yeah.
call the action so that everyone can do it.
Exactly.
Just like rowing crew, right? Someone's
Yep.
sitting
Yes.
there telling them when to row. It's the same kind of mentality.
I got to keep the beat.
Good job on Tony's part. He did a
Yeah,
great job.
that was a really
It was
fun
quick. He
challenge
made it
to watch.
quick. They had a good
And-
lead.
And they kicked butt in it. They won a challenge. And look, there they are, without the biggest guy who was determined
Without
that physical
doubt.
strength was needed. And I bet you that if he was in this challenge, they wouldn't have won it.
Because he would have wanted to be the boss.
Yep, and they just wouldn't have worked. I
Yeah.
just don't think it would have. So this is great. This is a united team. They go home, go back to camp. They don't have to vote anybody out. But now we got to deal with the international,
Which had they
or not international, but the Australia team.
had the world lost that challenge, it would have changed the whole face of the game. It was good that
Yes.
it worked out the way it did.
Yes,
From
I
a
agree.
viewer's standpoint, I'm saying.
Yeah, just for the level of entertainment we got out of everything.
Well,
So
they are the host country. And so going into this, and I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I thought to myself, there's no way they're not gonna make it so that Australia wins, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I hate to say that,
No,
but like, what would it do to the franchise there if they played Australia World and Australia got beat?
Then they would
And
have a
showing it
reason
there.
to do Australia versus the world too.
two, yeah.
That is true. Not
Didn't
Didn't
wrong.
you ever see Rocky?
Okay,
There's no
you're
reason
right,
for
you're
Rocky
right.
2 if Rocky wins the first fight.
But in my mind, I
point.
keep thinking like somehow how Australia can sometimes kind of twist or manipulate things here or there. And I wondered if it was going to be one of those situations where, because they weren't all 7 American players. It's the world.
yeah,
So therefore,
world.
there's not the alliances that could be there like the Aussie tribe. I thought they had a much better chance going in.
As the fan
honestly.
favorites of where they're at, yeah.
Right. And just that they all know each other and a lot of them will play together.
Well, do you know Kirby is the only Australian tribe member who hasn't played with somebody else on her tribe?
Oh,
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah.
Everyone else
Yep.
has played with at least one person on the tribe.
She told them all she didn't watch any of their seasons. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yeah, she had never watched before
She
she
didn't
played.
watch Survivor when she played. She
Okay,
learned the
but
game as she
guys-
went.
Is that a good strategy or not?
Worked for the last time really well for a long time.
No, I want her to lose just for that.
Well, I mean, like Shawnee said about George, he probably knows like the U.S. player's dog's name and their
Mhm.
niece's birthday for all the good,
Like,
Yeah.
okay, so
Their
maybe
star
not,
chart.
not watching it before. Okay, fine. Now you've been on it, and now you're saying you are willing to play again. Yeah, don't you want to know? This is like a friend of ours that we know that says like, why would you go out to Survivor and not know how to swim?
Yes.
Why would you go play a returning game with other returning players, even if you don't know who those players are, without watching the other seasons?
Why would you go on U.S. Survivor without knowing how to make fire?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Exactly.
these are all really good points. Like there's
Sorry.
you're not wrong about these
Okay.
things. That
So
being
Kirby should lose.
said,
Great. We're all in agreement.
I feel
that
like such a boomer making that
that
point.
but that being said, she went into this is what I can say for Kirby. And again, we're going to talk a lot about Kirby in this episode because that's just the way it's a very Kirby centric episode. But what I can say about Kirby's game style is she does not she has a really good instinct, and not only does she have a good instinct, she is so emotionally controlled that she can rely on the instinct just fine. She's not going to double guess many things because what she does is exactly when we talk about Big Brother and you have somebody who is mirroring somebody else in conversations. That's what Kirby does. I mentioned this when we watched her season. I was like, "What's with this girl? You can't get anything from her. All
No.
she does is go, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah."
Yep.
You know, but it doesn't matter. They fall into her. She's got the thing. They fall into her a little bit. And I don't think you can
suspect-
train for that. I just think that's something somebody has or they don't have.
I
So
suspect
knowing the other players, I don't think is all that necessary for her.
I suspect she would score very high on EQ. I think she has a very good sense of how she impacts other people and how they impact her, right? And that's different than IQ. It's having a, it's
Right.
more of a social intelligence, if you will. And I think she
Yeah.
has a very good sense of how she's perceived by others.
Yeah, I think that might be it too. She does. She's got a good sniffer for these things.
Where George has that's broken with George. George is like the psychopath of EQ because he has none.
I don't think that's it. I think he knows exactly what he's doing because he puts that freaking smile on his face, and you just go like, "Is he for real? Did he just say that with a smile on his face?"
Well,
I
it's
think he
because
knows what he's
George
doing.
it's because George has the thing that we call audacity.
Ooh.
He
Right.
always has the audacity. And that's really disarming for some people, and it works really good to manipulate them. When you
It
when you can
distracts
just
him.
just strike them dumb, you know. Well, back at camp, Kirby is telling David that she's willing to be his number one. David, though, has got his scope on George, but Kirby really actually wants to take out David. George immediately tells David this and says that his name is being thrown out. Like, immediately. Like, it turns around on Kirby so fast.
And George
Yes!
played awfully in this episode. Now everyone knows I'm the biggest George fan
Yes.
out there. I love George. I love Douglas.
Yes. Yes.
Not so much the banana hammock, but I'll
But he-
tolerate it.
Banana Hammock's
But
so
I
loud.
thought he played awfully this episode.
Yeah,
Awful.
I mean, like, he didn't even stop and
Down
breathe
to
on
his
that
vote,
one.
which was so wrong.
He goes and he immediately tells them and says, "Hey, your name's being thrown out." Sarah tells Kirby that she's going to be loyal. But then she turns around and tells David and Janine right away. And then when George is finally confronted by David, he immediately rats out Kirby, who's standing right there. And here's an example
Oh
of
my god!
Kirby's amazing gameplay.
He's like,
She's
George is like,
standing right next to him.
"He's standing right here."
And she doesn't flinch. She doesn't go, nothing. She just sits
was just like,
there
"Really?"
and eats her, eats her food, like, sees what they're, okay, calm, no fear, zero fear. She was
Well,
not
because-
rattled.
Because it's a situation where you have David and George both trying to figure out if they can trust each other. I
Mhm.
feel like George wanted to keep David for a shield for himself,
Mhm.
which is smart.
Well, yeah, because
But
obviously the longer David was in the game, the better it was for him.
But David just could not. He wanted to trust George, but he just couldn't.
they should have aligned.
They should have for their own mutual,
Because the two of them and Luke would have
Yes.
been formidable.
And Luke would have been loyal to them. They would have all three got to merge. I feel like.
Yeah, my thought on all of this is that Kirby found this situation where I think that you could have taken anybody else that was out there, or nearly anybody else that was out there. If they had been caught red-handed like that in that moment, there would have at least been a stutter, or
Yeah.
like a awkward laugh. Kirby just sits there and smiles because she sees everything you're just saying. She's almost amused. Like, these two big boys are going after each other. These big players are going after each other. I don't need to worry for me. Like, I don't need to worry about it. I just gonna sit here and play it cool. And then she immediately
honestly,
says to George, like, what was that?
Yeah, but anything she would have said at the moment that he said that would have been worse for her. So just being quiet and smiling was the way to do it, because you're not saying that George was telling the truth. So you're not getting defensive. So you know what I mean. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a good play.
Yeah,
It lets
and
some doubt fall in there.
it's kind of a scary moment, but it was a really, really fun moment.
It was
to watch fall in line, like, oh my god, how is this gonna go?
Yeah, it was
But she
so
doesn't
great.
flinch, and Sarah keeps pushing for George instead of David. So I know, like, watching all this, do you think you would have, like, I mean, if this was you in this interaction, like, Chrissy, would your face would, like, at least have turned red?
Oh, 100%. 100%. That whole thing was kind of nuts. I did not. I hope Dave. Here's the deal. David would have been my pick if he was still in the game right now. I would be like, I like David. I'm gonna go with David. Okay,
That's
but
because you are captivated by the twinkle.
he's
That
so no.
twinkle.
The same reason I chose Vince for Big Brother. Someone who's charismatic, who could talk like to the people and make them think whatever. Vince was kind of like that in the first day. Remember? Anyway, but it's kind of the same thing. Like that person who can really talk their way out of any problem and like
Yes.
smile and be charming
Yep.
and flirty and funny and like whatever. I like that. But that happened and David went home, and because of how wonderful the episode was, because of the tribal was so captivating and the things that was going back and forth and around, I wasn't even mad when they voted him out. I was like, oh, okay. And you know what? It didn't have to go to a revote. If George had kept his votes
Well, this
clean,
is what I'm saying. George is just silly.
He
Why would he
made
have
it-
voted?
he made tribal a little more interesting because then there was the tie, and so they had to revote. And that's I mean, it was a great episode.
It gave us
And-
more
Tribal.
entertainment. But
Yeah.
some of the more important parts about all this, because I feel like this is going to come. I think that this tribal was very foretelling of kind of what's going to be going on through the rest of this game. So, because David points out just how good Kirby is at this game.
Oh yeah.
Like, you
And
know,
she's
like,
like, who, me?
yes, like he's like, she is really good at this. And then there was that cross chat.
And Sarah's
that
like,
kept
yeah,
happening.
I know.
Oh my god.
she's
And that-
she's a duo.
That cross chat that was happening, and Kirby is like reminding Sarah and Shawnee to take out David, and then David tells Janine to vote for Shawnee, and then George convinces him to switch it back to Janine. There's so much back
Very
and forth that was
live
going on
tribal.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that David and George just get up and stand over there and talk for a little bit. On
Yeah,
their
they
own.
do. They have their own little pow over there, and
I mean,
but
at
in
this
the
point,
end-
the tribal should they should just have like cocktails at a bar. They should all be able to mingle and talk, and then move up. 'Cause
Well, yeah,
that's-
that definitely came from U.S. last year, right? Isn't that where we saw that?
it's kind of become a thing, right?
Yeah.
The live tribal happens. I mean, every season there's at least one live tribal at this point.
Where people are like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, like we gotta switch, because someone is picking up vibes off of someone. You know, that means somebody's going into tribal really paranoid, not 100% for sure if they can trust a move. Not necessarily trust a person, but if they can trust a move or not. And somebody says something that gets the wheels turning, and then they
Yep.
all kind of get a little
But I
bit
don't get
paranoid.
what George was thinking through this whole tribal. His vote was stupid.
He really thought that Luke and David were on his side,
Yeah, he did. He did.
and
That
then he
was who
pulled him
was
aside
hedging
and
his
talked to him
bets on.
again.
Mhm.
And David, he couldn't read David.
Yep. David is really like, he's very showman-y in his personality, you know, like where he's going to compliment you, he's going to say your name. Whereas George always, it's like very clear that it's contrived. David's got the thing where he doesn't have to feel contrived. It just really does feel like, you're my buddy. You know, like it's the
And
twinkle.
he gets that. It is, and he gets that look in his eye where he looks like he's super excited about the plan you're telling him.
Yes, like
And
enthusiastic.
he's smiling like, yeah, oh, okay. And so yeah, he was
you-
blinded by the twinkle too.
Do you think there's something to the fact that George really respected David's game and thought David respected his,
Yes.
and David didn't. I think
But
that's
he
the
did.
case.
No, I think David did respect his game.
Enough
and
that he
knew
knew that
I
was a
can't
dangerous
keep
person.
him.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is they're both like having a hard time reading each other, because David was not reading him right.
But
if he was
but
trying to be
had they worked together, they'd both still be in the game.
Well,
Yes.
here's the thing. Here's the two playing styles that we're looking at, okay? George sees somebody who is dangerous, and George is like a cat. He wants to play with his prey a little bit before he kills it. David's the dog. Just grab it and kill it. And David's like, get him out. And George wants to keep things around to play and manipulate.
Because all George did to David this episode was kind of like entice him, tempt him.
Yes.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And I think David was like, oh my God, I'm about to buy his BS. He's got to
Yes.
go.
It was about to
Right?
happen. But it cost David his game
Yeah.
after the revote. And he goes out on a 3-2 vote. And we are going to take a quick 8 seconds of pause for commercial break. Okay, we're back.
Before we move on to episode 3, I feel compelled to read some feedback that we've received through our chat function on Facebook, because apparently the engineer on this podcast had the comments off because StreamYard has a new function and it defaulted to off. So the comment is
sorry.
the comment is this from Scott Candiotti of New York City, New York.
I think I know what that is.
By the way, very frustrated the site doesn't seem to allow the chat function to work. At least just to rebuke Christy and her silly anti-Kirby stance alone.
Whatever, Scott. I'm saving her all for you, bud.
I'm gonna
I like who
I'm
I
gonna
like.
not read the next part because it has to do with the third episode, and I'll read it at the end.
Okay.
He says, "Oh well, maybe next week it'll work. Anyway, go Kirby. As far as the Aussies are concerned, I'm actually rooting for somebody on the other team."
All right.
So
Ooh,
apparently
I'm
you
interested.
have not made any friends in New York. Tonight,
I'm
Christy.
interested
That's
to
right.
know
Again, I did it for
on who
you,
he's rooting
Scott.
for.
You
Did
can
it for
pick him
you.
now and have a clean
I did
win,
it
but I
for
think one of these
you.
guys are gonna pick him. Pick her.
Well,
Sorry.
let's go to day 4. All right, and we wake up in the morning, and you know what? Somebody is feeling a little bit nervous over on the world team, and it's Tony, because he's realizing that the guy-gal ratio in the world tribe is a little off.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And
Those
he al-
girls.
and he-
these
And he
girls
also
sure are swimming
realized
a lot
poverty
together.
has a game, and well,
Poverty is poverty.
and she
You
is
got
the
it.
one who defies this statistic.
she really,
She does.
she really
She is
does
the
have them.
only.
Okay.
Her and Suri, let's be honest, it's Suri too,
Mhm.
3-2, yeah.
because she was part of that Black Widows alliance. But that is the only all-female alliance
Yeah,
in the
no,
history.
Okay, I'm just
of-
going to throw this out there. Okay, Parv is amazing. The Black Widows Alliance was really great, but Suri would have won that season if it wasn't for the stupid, like, weird vote thing that, like, the hinky thing they did at the end. There was like a 5. I don't remember what it was, but there was something that caused Suri to get pushed out when she shouldn't have, and she would have won it. I hold that to the fire.
I think she
Well,
said that
Suri
every
thinks
year.
so too.
Yeah, she
every
thinks
year.
so too.
But okay, still, Parv
The
is
thing with
queen.
Tony,
Yes.
I thought Tony didn't need to worry. I thought that he should have spoken to them, because I think that Parvati and Suri should have told Tony, listen, I don't know if they know that we'll stay together, but they're afraid we will. So you go talk to Tommy. I'm going to talk to the ladies because they'll talk to us. But we're still a 3. Then they
Yeah.
know what everybody's doing.
Yeah, at least
Now,
they're on top of it.
Even
But-
if that's untrue, that's what you tell Tony.
But Tony is gonna listen. Tony's gonna Tony, and there's one thing about him.
But
is that-
Tony has a very reasonable fear at this point. He's
Sure.
not being ridiculous.
No,
No.
he's not. But you have to also be
Find a
you
way
have to be
around it.
cognizant of that
Yeah.
he's getting paranoid, and you got to keep him.
Okay, but we
feeling
are
secure.
talking we're talking about the man that literally
Spy
built
shack.
a spy shack. So
He is a little
being
paranoid, right? I
paranoid
mean,
is just part of Tony's.
Okay, whenever you say Spy Shack,
general-
I hear Love Shack playing. I'm like, Spy Shack, baby.
I love it. But I mean, that's Tony's energy in a nutshell. And then he gets really squirrely, and that's kind of like why we have fun watching Tony, because you're like, oh my gosh, this guy. But he is making
He's
it.
a lot, but he's won twice.
Yes, because he overall he does understand when to pull that back a little bit. But he does kind of make an announcement like, and I don't think that it's a bad judgment on his part where he says, I think that the box should stay public and that key should be found and we should open it together. I think that's the only way we can keep trusting each other. And I don't disagree
Are we
with
to the
him.
box now? Is this where we're at?
Yeah.
Well,
we're getting to
I
the
think
box.
that if he would have gone to Suri, if he had gone himself to the two girls and said, I'm going, they could have said, no, let's not do that. Let's not make it, public, or we'll say it, but we won't do it or something.
Right.
I don't know. By making that proclamation without checking with them about how they felt about it. Because it's like the only
Maybe you
reason,
put a little bit too much out there that this guy's getting paranoid.
well, yes, because the only person who doesn't want the box to be opened is the person who's afraid of what's in the box and is afraid of the people in their alliance finding out what's in the box because they think they're going to turn on him. It's the paranoia. Yeah, you showed us.
Also, the guy in 7, he didn't want to know what was in the box. He found out what was in the box, but it was not good. What's in the box?
That guy has a name. His name is Brad Pitt, and he's having a pretty good career. Okay,
He's actually doing pretty.
He's
He's actually doing pretty well.
Pretty well.
You know, the worst part is he's exactly my age,
Well,
and he looks like he's like 20 years younger. Kills me.
just
that's showbiz, baby.
When you got the twinkle, you got the twinkle.
When
Is
you
all
got
I'm
he's
saying.
born and raised in Missouri, right? So I mean,
Yep, he's from
Yeah,
he's
like
from that
30
place where
35
the
miles away from here.
where they have the federal penitentiary, Springfield. Yep, there.
Yep.
That's where
Yep.
he's from.
As is Chapel Roan, just in case you needed to know.
Oh, wow,
There you go. A little bit of both.
And
Look at
John
me
Gotti died
dropping
there.
names.
wow, weird fun
there's
facts
that.
with David got.
Okay, let's not talk about Missouri anymore. Let's get back to talking about what is happening in Samoa. So, the girls slink off, and you know what they do? They find the key, of course. Because, oh, look, a key. Oh, there's a lot of trees in the jungle.
Oh,
There's a
look,
key.
no. Let's be honest. Oh, look, there's a cameraman here. I wonder what he's set up for.
Why is he pointing it right
Oh,
at my face?
maybe there'd be a tree. Oh, look, there it is.
She literally says, "They wouldn't just hang it from a branch, would they?" Oh,
There it is. Right here.
but yeah, they're like
Yes.
right in her face with it, and she's going,
There's-
"Why? Why are you looking at me like that?
What,
Stop
there's
looking
something
at me
in
like
my
that.
teeth? Oh,
I
it's
must
a
be really
key.
close because
It's a key.
she's looking and they're not over there in her face. Wait a minute, what's going on?" Yeah, you're probably right. They know how to read the cameraman now, don't they?
Yes. But it was so great because they get back to the camp and they want to really quick like unlock that box before Tony comes rummaging back down. And Tony gets there a little bit faster than they suspect. And so Cherie's trying to get that key out of the lock and it's all chaos. And then they have to sit on the box and try to hide it from
Okay.
Tony.
So there's a joke here. So Poverty's sitting there with her box wide open, and Tony doesn't even notice. Hoo-ah,
The
I'm here all week.
Okay. It was the lock that was open, but hey, whatever. The lock on the box.
But-
yeah.
That's what makes it funny. You're
Oh
ruining the
my
joke by
gosh.
explaining it, Christy.
It was
She-
very nerve wracking. Were you guys nervous here?
Not at all.
I was like, he's going to see it. He's going to see it. He's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
see it.
Tony. He's not.
How does
did not
Tony not
notice
pick
that.
up on that? Or
I
did
know.
he?
I know. I don't know. I think if he would have, they would have shown that because that makes it more fun, right?
Yes. But it
Unless
gets
they-
even better because Lisa's like, oh, I'll go to the well with you. And then Tony has to basically climb into the well because he drops the ladle.
She has to give him a boost up.
World.
Like,
What in
did
the
you think he
world?
was going to just go down into the barrel? I thought he was just going to fall in.
I thought he was going to fall in and that she was
That's
going to have to like
dangerous.
pull him out by his feet. But, you know, he managed to get his ladle, but it took too long because they were able to get into that box and find the clue. And what is the clue, Christy?
It is that there is a secret hidden immunity idol at the base of JLP's podium. Phew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think Sari, if her back's up against the wall, is going to be
Yes.
like, oh, well, Poverty found it. I'm going to leave it for her. Sari's going to go grab that thing.
Yes. Yes.
Well, especially if it's a situation where, let's say, as the previews for next week looked like, each person on
joint-
each, they're both teams are going to go to
Mhm.
tribal. There'll be one person on each team with immunity. So if Poverty already wins individual immunity, which could absolutely
Mhm.
happen,
Yep.
then she's not going to go and grab it anyway. But if Cerise's in jeopardy, she can run up there and grab it.
But
You know what I
the
mean?
point,
That
is,
they're
the
both
point
safe.
is, if she won individual immunity, she'd be smart to just walk up there, bold as brass, pick it up, put it in her pocket, and go. Not only do I have
Poverty. Oh,
not only do I have individual immunity, I also have an idol,
yeah. Maybe.
and now I control this tribal. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
It could
You
go
literally,
any
I can
ways.
protect any other person.
I think if she runs up there and grabs it in front of everybody, the only way she would do that is if she knew she was in trouble.
Yes. Yeah. If someone's in trouble, I think Sari will go up and get it if she thinks that if her back's against the wall, if she thinks she's in trouble, I have no doubt she'll get up and get it. I kind
If
of
they're
hope she
not-
does.
I
If
thought
everybody
I had
decides
this.
to turn on those two girls,
Well, we'll get there, but I had this idea that somebody was going to notice it and run up and get it tonight. But it didn't happen. That would have been cool, though.
did they do a close up of it at all?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't think they
Nope.
did. They didn't show it.
Nope, they sure didn't.
Next
Because
week
I
they
thought it
will.
would be cool to see
Next
how
episode.
obvious it was, right?
Mhm.
And
And
you
it's
remember
just right
who
there.
was it who tried to play?
It's got like the same kind
who
of
tried to
horn
play
things,
Jeff's
doesn't it?
podium?
Was it Andrew?
Remember?
Yeah,
He's like,
it
I
was-
want to
I-
play
was it-
that.
was it
And Jeff's like,
Andrew?
that's
That
my
Adam?
podium.
Adam?
Burn in the fire.
He's the one. He won. He won his seat. Adam. I think his name's Adam. I think that's who it was. Anywho, we've got to go back to Camp AU, and George has declared that he is raising an empire. He
Ooh.
tells Shawnee that he owes her one. Thanks for the vote. I owe you one. But
Tells
Shawnee,
Luke he's gonna get him.
Mm-hmm. Shawnee only wants revenge. She doesn't care about him owing nothing. She just
Do you
wants
think
revenge.
that? Do you think that's smart for her, though?
Yep.
Well, in
Yeah.
other words, is it smart for her game?
Yes.
Considering who the other people are on the Australian tribe and how they're banding up.
I think her only real problem is Sarah. If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you,
Yeah.
the only problem she has on that tribe is Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is, she's not going to get on in between Luke and Janine, and now it's Sarah and Kirby, and she's the odd man out.
I don't think that getting in between Luke and Janine is a thing. I don't feel like they're close enough where that you have to worry about a wedge between the two of them. They're just forced together because they
Yeah,
lost David.
because of circumstances, and I think that she'll be that third vote sitting right in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's going to
I
be a
think-
battle of who's going to get Shawnee.
But if George had stayed
Oh, if
in,
it turns out that way, it's going to be great.
if George had stayed in, it would have continually hung over Shawnee's head, right?
Yep.
If you can't
Waiting
get
for
George,
it.
you get somebody who George trusts, right? And
Yep.
so, yeah, I think
I
it's
think
better
it
for
was,
her.
it
when
was
he's
yeah,
gone.
she needed to be disowned from him as far as that goes, like you just said. She would have been the target if they couldn't get George. And she can't trust him. There's just no trusting him. He'll work with her when it suits him, but
I
there's
think
no
it's
loyalty.
interesting that on the Aussie tribe, they seem to be absolutely going after the biggest threats. Like, oh my God, these people scare me, but let's take them out. Because the two people they've taken out have been their biggest players, right?
Well, but even the guy on the world. I mean, considering he was on the winning side of the 4-3 advantage,
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
yes.
taking
But he-
him out was the play.
It was. But he wasn't in like a really solid alliance, being that he was the only
No.
person
But I'm
his
just
thing.
saying,
Yeah.
if you would have looked at it beforehand, you'd have said he's the guy you got to go.
If they're
Yes.
going next week into some sort of like double tribal,
Well, they
our
are.
three-
You saw
our
the
three
preview, just like I
our-
did.
Our three Americans are looking pretty good. I'm proud of them for staying together, or it's both all three being there. So
Yeah, they're gonna. I feel like they're gonna stick together until they really are forced into a position where they have to go another way.
Hmm.
That's
By
the
the
thing
way,
because
lots of feedback coming from New York. Our friend Dennis,
Oh,
also from New York, but
hi,
positive
from
place
Dennis.
to be.
from the nice part of New York. Um,
Wow.
well, the not the city. He's from the.
It is the Empire State. I wonder if they like George there the best.
He just sent me a text that said he loved the Rob Blind side in episode 1, so I thought
Yes.
I'd share that with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
We didn't have to
So
deal with that ego anymore.
there's a little bit of a hitch that Shawnee's going to have to deal with. We were just talking about, and that it comes in the form of a very beautiful woman named Sarah, because Sarah feels like Shawnee might be the third wheel in her partnership with Kirby, so she's feeling a little antsy and a little bit nervous about this whole thing. George does try his best to warn Kirby about Sarah, and I think here we are again where we're going to be dealing with some foreshadowing in this moment, because he does try to warn her.
And of course, George knows because he's studied them all.
Yes, yes. I
Hmm.
mean, do you
He's
guys think
watched
this
every
is
season.
like yes? But do you guys
He
think like
prepared.
the thing is with this is the thing with Sarah that I am a little bit worried for Kirby on, but she this is how it doesn't matter if I've watched Sarah play or not. The type of person I am is that if somebody keeps trying to tell me how loyal they are, I know how not loyal they are. Do you know what I mean? Like she
Well,
keeps
and the
on
way
saying like, "Oh, I played a really shady game, but this time I'm going to be loyal." She says it so many
well,
times.
yes,
How can
and
it be true?
not only that, but she keeps reminding Kirby that she picked Kirby over her friend David. So it's like,
Yes.
stop. Why are you still reminding me? We're good, right?
And so
Like, why do you keep saying
have
these
to
things?
have a grain of hope for Kirby in there, because we did watch Kirby in her season be able to work around some of that too. Like
Hmm.
I trust that she has a good read on things. But I do think that the Kirby and Sarah of it is going to come
Well,
to be toe to toe.
and Sarah's a good player. She
Yeah.
cozies up to people, she makes friends, she gets good alliances. But what she does do is she has takes on the game that are usually bad, or like just a bad take, and
Yeah.
she becomes fixated on it.
Yes.
Right? So you kind of saw that in the preview where she's already like, well, I don't really trust Kirby, right? It's
Okay.
like,
Here's the thing about Sarah. When her season, she has these ideas and she pitches them, and it's not that they're necessarily bad, but people don't. They're not the ones that the majority wants to go for.
right.
And then she gets super ticked off every time.
And this is
No one
already
ever wants
happening
to-
this year.
Does
Yes,
she
she's
sound a
already
little?
said it.
Does she remind you of somebody from an Australian season last year?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
That is who Sarah is. They didn't listen to me. They don't want to do my plan, and you go like, stop. You can't say that. You can't act that way. So, I don't know.
I'll be interesting to see where this goes through, but I
I
know
think
that this will
Kirby would
likely
get
be.
if somehow that sours between them, I think Kirby would get the best of her, but I don't know.
Well, and it's interesting because the next
That's what
scene
we thought about
have-
Ferris too.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because in the next
Oh, I knew Ferris was
scene,
getting the best of Kirby.
Sarah is talking to Luke and Janine like in the middle of the night while Kirby is asleep, while Shawnee is asleep. She's already. This is what I mean. Like there is no loyalty in someone who keeps having to point out how loyal they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like none. And
Because
as I said,
she's setting up her backups already. And she
Yes.
thinks and okay, and again, this is
But she also knows what the other side is thinking, where Kirby really doesn't.
maybe. I just think that Sarah is not quite the player that Kirby is.
yeah. I
Well,
think that
she's certainly not going to win challenges like Kirby can.
Right.
Yeah, likely not. Likely not. Which brings us into the next challenge. Nice
Yeah,
segue,
let's talk
David.
about that challenge. This one
So,
made me
the
sore, made my
sandbag
shoulders
trough,
hurt.
right? Okay, Chrissy, how long do you think you'd be able to stand
Oh,
there with those
My
5
God.
pound sandbags?
Okay, so I'm digging deep. I'm thinking about my family. I want to do it all for them. I want to show them. I want them to be proud. I don't want to embarrass myself, my family, my friends, anybody. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's like honestly, I don't know
Do it. I
how
couldn't do
you
it.
because it's not just that you're standing there with your arm up. It's that you're in the hot sun and you have the other players standing
Yep.
right next to you.
And
Which
they got to
starts-
smell a little bit.
And so it starts to get a little weird, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't know.
thing.
So the idea that they stayed up there, what was the end count? It was
Like
coming up
an
on
hour
hour.
40, I think.
He called an hour 40 and they continued going, and it was probably, it wasn't 2 hours that they would have called that. So somewhere in that gap, right? Crazy.
Yes.
Well,
was-
and
It was
here's
a long time.
I had a couple observations. The first is poverty. I would love to see her play with Shan. Remember Shan? Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
her name? Because
Mhm.
she is the same sort of skinny, wiry, strong as
That,
hell.
like, yes,
How the
that very-
hell did she do what she had? 2 sandbags most of the time. Luke
Very
is dying.
flexible. Yeah, just
Luke is
very
dying.
solid.
Tony's dying, and she's like this, and she's not only doing that,
Well,
but she's holding
two-
up the New Zealand player mentally.
But to
while
be
she's
fair,
doing it.
they were a player down already because Sari had
She
already
was out.
dropped.
Yep.
She had let go of her bag, so they were 5 people holding up their 6 bags versus 6.
Yeah, but
holding up
Luke was
6.
standing right next to her on the same Australian tribe, and he was dying.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah,
Because there's some strength in, arm shoulder strength that's required, but there's something else to it. Like there's some people that just do not have, like it's the back muscles because
And I think it's core. I really do.
yeah, because the thing is for a lot of I'm
Mhm.
one of those people that if I have my arms up above my head for over 30 seconds, I start not being able to breathe.
Well, in fairness, you're touching the sky at
Like-
that moment.
and my hands
It's
start.
true.
My carpal tunnel jumps in, so like my hands fingers go numb. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of things that are required on that. Somebody like Parv, for instance, who is probably one of those people that does yoga like 5 times a week. Easily.
Oh yeah, wasn't she an instructor at some point?
Yes.
Wasn't
I
she
mean,
teaching?
She's,
Yeah,
she's
that's her.
doing all sorts of things that require like holding
And
a
come
pose for
on.
a very long time.
When she was laying on that rock, there's nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, come on. She looked like she was about like 21 again. Give me a break.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. She
yeah,
was
she's
Sports
incredible.
Illustrating that nap.
What
Come
was
on.
going on with Shawnee's leg? Because every time, like, she would be reaching down, banging on her leg.
The flies, they were.
Is that what it
flies.
was?
Mhm.
Yeah, they
'Cause
have those
nobody
biting
else
flies.
seemed bothered by it, but she was absolutely bothered by it.
It's those dang flies. I'm telling you, those would drive me
But
crazy.
and
too.
then the other observation I just had is that the big guys struggled in this. I thought the big guys would be able to hold 10 pounds forever.
10 and a half.
They
Fair enough.
can
They did.
hold these big arms and these big shoulders. We see it again and again. You have to look at it as that it's not just strength. It's how long can you endure pain and get it out of your
Yes.
head.
Mhm.
And the men just very
And
rarely
that is the
have that
thing.
as long as the women
Well,
do.
I
The
guess,
yo-
but the
yoga
point
helps.
is
that meditation.
poverty
like, slowly,
poverty
like-
probably weighs 110 pounds soaking
Mhm.
wet.
Yeah.
Okay, Luke probably weighs 210. Okay, so
Yeah.
he has 100 pounds on her. So when you compare that 10 and a half pounds as a portion of the body weight, she's enduring twice as much as he is and still beating him.
Also, did you see how? Okay, so like I thought that each rope would have to be so that with the bag where you couldn't rest it on your head,
Right.
right? It has to be shorter than that, so you have to actually hold it.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what,
They had him down to like their chin
Yeah,
at some
Luke
point.
had one here, and I thought, how is he? Like, why wouldn't he just put it on his head? Why?
Well, and there was the one point where what's her name on the model on Australia? We were just talking
Sarah.
about
Sarah.
where Sarah dropped it. I thought for sure it was coming down, and it didn't.
Yes, and there was too much give, right? It was like
Yeah.
it went like below her shoulder.
Yep.
It seemed like. I don't know. So it seemed like the rope lengths were very weird.
The lengths had to be long enough that if somebody was out, they could still hand the bags over to the next people. There had to be enough length for that. And if you consider that some of them are really like 4'7", and then there's another one who's
Then I think if you
6'1".
can't
But am I
rest it
in?
on your head, I would have been. Yeah, but I would have been using.
I'm
my
sure
head
they
as
said you
leverage.
cannot put it on your head.
Jamie,
I'm
we've
sure
seen
that
this
that was
challenge
ruled.
before.
Losers.
Certainly. Isn't it usually weight adjusted based on the size of the person? I
It is
felt like
it
normally.
is
didn't.
on it is that on certain things. I don't know if it is with the sandbags. Though.
Okay, I don't
like ones
remember.
where they have to hold back. you know, when they're holding a bucket up or something, like
Yes,
individually.
Is there like a percentage of their
But
body weight?
having the percentage of their body weight in the sandbags doesn't actually make sense because again, they have to move the weight over to their neighbors and move it back and forth.
Right.
So I'm sure it's probably this about this.
Now,
I could be wrong, but
Now, Australia has done this before. Didn't they do something where it was like they had to hold it up? Wasn't that this last season of Australia? Where
Yeah, they
had
did the
they were on a thing and they had to all be at the top and
Hold
they had
it
to
up.
kind
Yep.
of grab them up, right? I like that. I like that better. Just personally, you know, I could still breathe with that. Yeah.
you don't have to have a panic attack watching it because
Yeah,
you can't
no.
breathe anymore. I get it.
That
So we-
was a hard one though.
Well, at the end of all of this, the world wins again, proving that strength
Yes.
isn't just
They
physical.
won with 5 against 6. That was crazy. I didn't know how.
I
and
thought,
Suri got to kick back and
but I thought that was ridiculous. How
Yes.
can you not be able to keep your hand on the sandbag? I understand you're not holding it, but you could touch it with one little finger.
well,
Your
at
neighbor
one
gets
point,
too
And it's that.
weak.
I mean,
at one point you saw 2. They showed it for just a second. There were 2 of them, and they were facing each other, and they kind of like leaned their hands against each other with their bags against each other, so
Yep.
they or whatever the weight of their bodies kind of holding resistance against it. So it wasn't just their strength.
Well, and I think
But-
Suri's hand coming off the bag was a very little slight. It wasn't like a
oh, it wasn't like Sandra
No.
going, I'll just take my hand now because I
Yeah,
want to
no,
sit
no,
down.
she
Well,
didn't
she just
need
was
to.
she was just moving her hand, and at that time it meant she had nothing on it. So
Right, and it's like you can't come out of contact with.
So it was kind of a ticky-tack foul.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
like JLP was like, oh,
You took your hand off for- yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oops. Well, that's
So-
how I'd lose. I'd take my hand off for a second to like fix my
Move your
glasses or something.
Excuse me.
Wipe the sweat off of my face for a second, you know, like
yes, yes.
and then like,
exactly.
oh, done.
But I'll tell you, my favorite moment of that whole challenge was when Kirby and Parv were looking at each other and they had the smile off. Because
Yep.
both of those ladies have just got so many beautiful teeth and they just were
Everybody
shining
does.
them at each
Tones
other.
are great.
It's
How
like-
about George trying to get in their head, though? I thought that was.
Yeah.
and Parv
Interesting.
like
And they
going,
were giving it
okay,
right back,
George,
yeah.
like,
Well, no, but she was kind of liking it. Okay, what have you heard about
Yep,
me?
yep.
You know, what did you say about me? You know.
it was fun.
And then
yeah.
Tony was trying to get them to drop too. You know what I mean? They were giving it back and forth. So I don't know.
It
I
was
feel
a
like
good
these
time, yeah.
I feel like these veteran players on both sides are actually having a good time playing though. So that's
I
fun to
agree.
see.
So now Australia has to go back to tribal, and George wants to split between Luke and Janine. Shawnee is still gunning for George. Luke likes the idea, but Sarah is pissed, and she wants to cut Shawnee. George tells Luke and Janine that they will have to vote for each other. You're gonna have to vote for each other because we're splitting the votes, and one of you is going home. But Janine says, nope,
I'm not
gonna
voting
vote
for
him.
Luke.
I'm not doing it. Kirby eventually caves and tells Sarah that she'll cut Shawnee for her. And then they go to tribal. Now,
Okay, this was an exceptional edit because I was convinced Shawnee was going home.
yeah, I mean, it seemed like that was going to
I mean, it was well done in that
yeah,
in
where
that
the
regard.
numbers laid. And but this is the thing with, I feel like with Australia, like they are really, they always like to give you one clear person. Like you think, you're sure, oh, it's going to be this person. Yep, it's clear cut, it's done, that's what we're going to do. And then it's totally not that person at all.
But yeah, they do a good job of making it more interesting and not look one-sided.
They do
But-
tend to run you down a path. Sometimes it gets a little bit of, obnoxious, but just don't trust what you're seeing. Trust the conversations, but don't trust the resolution they're trying to tell you because it's rarely what takes place.
Good day, mates.
Unless they say that, and then you know what they're trying to say.
No, they're the best alliance member ever. Trust them.
Trust that person.
Mm-hmm.
So at tribal, George tells the tribe that I love this, there's no point in getting a case of big move-itis unless it's in front of the jury. There's no jury here. What's the
And
point?
they
We
wait.
don't-
Yeah, we don't care.
They're like, George.
George. Well, I could see that as he more kept talking, I don't know if they were absolutely positively sure they were going to do what they did, but there was a moment where Kirby kind
It
of
was
looked around
almost like they were like, yeah, yeah.
oh no, he's got to go
He's
right
gotta get
now.
out. He's
That
got.
is kind of scary,
He's
right?
getting the. He's getting the ick. He's getting the
I mean,
ick
I
on me,
think
man.
Kirby even kind of like went like that. Like she kind of like, okay.
Yep. Yep.
Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing? Like,
There was a. There was a few, choice phrases.
because he said something about a strong fist or something.
Yeah,
and
the like,
Kirby
I'm
did.
an expert. It was the I'm an expert. You should follow the expert, and the iron fist.
And they're like, oh, so you're telling us exactly how it is that you should go home. Okay, we got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it's great because he says, well, you should listen to me. And they do not.
They do
They
not,
do not.
which is good. And he says something that Luke even argues with him and goes like, you're not the only one who's been in a minority and become a majority after the,
Yes,
been
yes.
able to work it out. I
Yep.
didn't say I was the only one. That's not what I said. Well, but stop it. Stop it. They're not
Stop
buying
it.
your stuff.
Stop it,
And
Georgie.
I don't know that they were. Do you think they were absolutely going for George the whole time?
I think that they were, but I think that when he started talking, it made everyone feel good about the fact that they were.
Like
The
less
ones
doubt.
the ones that were going to do it, they were
Like,
like,
should
okay,
I do
yeah,
this
this
or
was
should I
the,
do that?
yeah,
I
this
don't know
was
how I
definitely
feel
the
about
right
this.
choice.
Yeah, he made it like, oh, okay, yeah, we're good. Yeah. Excellent.
I'm not sure what, David, are you disappearing?
I think he wants us to have another commercial at this point.
Hey,
So-
David, I need you to use your other finger and you're going to point that way instead. There it is.
There you go.
There it is. All
there
right.
you go.
And now we're nope, get your finger up. This is Australia's Survivor, David. Get your hand up and hold it. We're
Hold it
counting
there.
on you. We're not going to tribal. I want that there for 8
Otherwise,
seconds.
you're out.
Okay. You
That's
put
a
your
really
arms down.
long time.
You put your arms down. We
2
won.
whole
Good job.
hours.
Good job, David.
David.
So the king is again dethroned on a 3-2-1 split. The god is dead. The king is dead. JLP says, in this game, it's dangerous to sit on the throne. And from the background is Luke. And he goes, oi!
Wait, there's
Oi!
one left.
What about me?
This king is still alive. Wait a
Okay,
minute.
he was totally Joffrey in that moment. But I'm a king too.
Wait. Lesser king, sure.
I'm the king.
Because didn't Rob the South African player, didn't he have a King Namaker as well? Wasn't he
Yeah,
like
yes. I think that's why Kirby said you're all kings and queens.
Yeah.
Shield you from whom exactly?
someone to go, no, I'm just a plebe. I haven't, maybe Kirby should do that. I've not won. I just, yeah.
I'm nothing but a joker.
Eh.
Just here for the
Oh, I
pranks.
missed the Joker. I wish he
All
was
right,
on.
George, we hardly knew ye this season, but if you want to come on the podcast, we'd love to have you.
We love you. We want you to show us a really good picture of your tattoo again so we can see it's not a third nipple.
And bring Douglas. We'd love to have Douglas on there.
I mean, yeah, why not?
I mean, you know.
Also,
Yeah,
his,
sure.
his,
I'm with
his
the dog.
little injury, that
Yeah.
the injury
Oh, yeah.
on his
His little
forehead, that
divot.
where the dirt was almost like tattooed into him, like you can't see it anymore really
Yeah.
at all. Like it's
Listen,
finally healed years later.
He's probably been able to have something done, maybe
some abrasion,
yes,
some derm
like
abrasion.
exactly. They just like sandblast that right off. Now it's
Yes.
like brand new skin.
Have we now reached the fateful moment? Is it upon us?
Time to pick our winners.
I think it may be.
Okay, so I don't really know. There's a lot of good people, but
There is.
I think that yes, Kirby is playing a good game, but I think she's sticking her neck out, and I think they'll take her out too. And I don't know. So I'll let you guys pick. You guys have first dibs because I don't really know. There's so many people I could go with for different reasons.
All right.
Ladies first, Jamie.
David, nope. David, you go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with an unexpected pick.
Okay.
I'm picking Cass from Quebec.
All right.
Okay. You
because
know
I
what?
think I think she's here to play, and I think everyone's looking past her because they don't know her.
Yep. That's
Yes.
a good call. Yep.
Yeah.
She has an idol.
She got a little bit. Yes. She has now. Nobody saw her. How did they not see her?
I
They
did
were
forget to
right,
mention
standing
that
right there.
she just found one laying up in the
Yep.
rocks. Yep.
Also, she was the one who said when they went before she found it, "Oh, look, 3 butterflies. Oh, look, and there's 3 of
Three
us."
of us. More
Almost planting it that
foreshadowing.
like we could be 3 and we could get rid
Mhm.
of poverty. And
Yep.
so they think it's a good pick. Good job, David.
That's I got a gut instinct on it, and you pointed it out, Christy. If not for the 3rd episode, I would have felt honor bound to pick George,
Yeah. And you're freed from that.
and I
now,
was
right?
free. I was free to
Yeah.
actually pick
So,
someone
like,
who might win.
So to actually, look at the other players, not be blinded by his brilliance.
All right, who's next?
Jamie, what do you think?
I've gone back and forth on this a lot because I really do want to root as a fan of Suri. I really want an American to hold it. I mean, this is the Olympics, so
Suri
I'm
can't
rooting for
win.
I'm rooting for my country, but
I would
I-
love to
I
see
know-
Suri or Parvati get
but
it.
my
honestly.
worry is
Not Tony
Suri
because he's
just
already got 2 wins.
Suri just I don't know that Suri has what it takes to get through the final competition.
Yes, because that final on Australia is
Is
tough.
badass always.
Right.
It is
And
always very tough.
That's my biggest concern for her. So then I have to stray from my own countrymen.
But she's never won. Don't you think maybe someone might take her to the end thinking she can't win again?
Maybe, and I would love that, and I would be just.
I think
as
that's the only
I
ecstatic-
think they'd be
win.
right though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would be ecstatic for that to be the case, and if that's what happens, that's great. I have picked Tony in the past for my winner's pick. His second win, he was my winner's pick, and I won that one.
But he needs to stop reminding people he's won
But
twice.
I think that's going to be a detriment to him for this
Yeah.
one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stray away from my U.S. team, and I'm gonna land it on Kirby. I loved her in her freeze. I didn't trust her in the first 3 or 4, 5 episodes of Kirby. I was like, I told you guys she'd be the first one I'd want out. Something about her, I don't trust her. She doesn't give me anything when she talks to people.
I still feel that way.
But I watched her.
And I don't know why.
I just watched the passion she had. The closer she got to the end game, the more her game amped up. The better.
But you never
she
liked
got
her
at
more
it.
than Ferris.
I did though.
Did you?
Yeah, but I did.
Okay.
I liked that trio.
I think she did.
I
I
really-
think in fairness, I think she would have
She
been
prob-
happier with a Kirby win than a Ferris
I
win.
liked.
Okay.
I really loved that trio.
Well, then
that
I'm
they,
glad
If
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
wants to go back and watch our old episodes and correct us on that, I
Okay,
have
no,
to say
you know
Jamie was
what?
more Kirby than Ferris until Kirby was gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's something about watching somebody, and that's what's great about this season too, is because you're not just watching one person who's really falling in love with what they're doing and they're all people that have fallen in love with the game, and at some point it was just cool getting to see her fall in love with it while she was playing it. It was just something different with that experience. So I walked away from being really pleased with Kirby's game the first time. I will tell you, when they started listing all of the people that were coming in from Australia, she was the one I was most excited about. So I'm going to have to go with
okay.
Kirby for a win. Even if she's gone next week, I feel like I can't not root for her to be the winner.
I think it's a solid pick. I mean, that was the other way I was going to go. So that I was
Good.
drawn between the two.
Good.
But I took the person who I think is hiding in plain sight and no one is seeing
Yeah,
the
I like that a
evil
lot.
and the
Makes sense.
manipulative that exists there.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to go into the merge next week because if they have a double elimination and then they go into the merge, we're going to end up with 4 Aussies and 5 internet, 5 world, right? That's what it'll be. So I think that traditionally when they've gotten into a merge, the group that is less usually has an advantage only in that the 5 start to want to pick somebody off, right? So you can
Fine,
use
yeah.
the people from the 4. So that I feel so I do feel like at this point somebody from Australia is going to win.
Okay.
I think that we are onto something with the Sarah thing, that's going to start looking fishy to people.
Yep.
So I don't think she'll make it to the end. I don't think it's going to be Kirby because I think she's pushed her head neck out a little too
She's
far
a little
too.
too far out.
And
too
they
fast,
they
yeah.
look like that's who they're going after because
Well,
they're
but like
afraid.
Rob went too hard, obviously, in
Sure, but when
episode
no
one.
one-
Is Kirby going too hard through days 5?
Right.
Maybe
At
you
some
could make
point
that
you go
argument.
like, who's going too hard now? With the too hard players gone, now who's too hard? You know what I mean? I would love to either pick Shawnee or Luke. Because I like them both.
Luke
I
could be
really-
Luke could be huge for the franchise, by the way,
It would.
Yes.
It
because
would, and
he's a player that people
he's
love.
very
Well, and
beloved.
Shawnee has never won either, has she?
Right.
I mean, like
I'm
Shawnee
really
not winning and
tournament-
getting the win would be a big deal.
Shawnee, I feel like I love Luke, and he's played. What is this? His 4th time playing? I think
I
so.
think this is the 4th.
I think it's his 4th.
Yeah.
And he had a really good backstory about his kids, and if I remember right, like you wanted the guy to win. He like really loves his family, and I believe he has a special needs child that he really wants to take care of. So he's got a good story there. So I would love to see him win. But I think Shawnee has the tenacity, and if you had told
She
me
does.
2 weeks ago or 2 days ago that I was going to be picking Shawnee to be my winner's pick for this, I would have said you are out of your damn mind. But I think that she's often overlooked. I think with George being gone, she's got a better chance now.
She's good at endurance.
She has that, yes, and people won't. I think they underestimate that. She does though, because she has stood on those pegs in the bottom of her
Yep.
feet
Yep.
for a really long time.
I think she's a good choice.
And she went and got pregnant right away. So clearly she wanted to celebrate, right?
Okay,
So
Chris-
I'm gonna say Shawnee.
So, are you picking Shawnee?
I'm picking Shawnee.
I love it.
Okay, allow me to be the first to say by banner.
Nah.
Christy, you are out of your
no.
damn mind.
Nah.
I'm not. I thought I gave compelling arguments.
You
I
did
agree,
give
you
compelling
did.
arguments,
Okay.
but I think
I had to talk myself into a decision because
I
I
like
didn't know
it.
who to pick. But
if
I
like it.
George would have pulled his head out of his butt, she'd have gone home today.
Yeah, but I think her biggest problem really was going to be George. So.
and that she pivoted. The game has pivoted for her now.
It finally happened.
Ding, 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 ding.
So I think that she might be all right for a little bit because I
think
don't
she
think they're going to want
will.
to take her out. I think there's other people. I think that there's a Kirby to get out and a Tony to get out and a Sari to get out and a Parvati to get out. I don't think they're going to be looking at Shawnee anymore. I think she's going to be able to hide.
Yeah.
She
I
might
agree.
align with Cass.
Maybe.
That could happen.
Maybe. And Shawnee can talk a good game. She wants to win. She
So
wants to win.
if-
And she's already been saying that in her like how
She
she,
works
wants to.
really,
I'm going to win
really-
this. So,
She
Again,
works
if that's
really
editing.
well with other girls.
yeah.
If you two would indulge me for a moment, I'll read the part of Scott's comment that I couldn't read
Okay, yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, George got what he deserved. His shtick got really old really quick. Also, the jerk spoiled 2 of 3 episodes for me. So F him.
Was that him that was posting it?
Yeah, he got
Oh, do you
spoiled twice by
follow him
George.
on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
That's why you don't. That's why you don't.
And then
Twitter.
I
You
asked,
gotta mute everything. You gotta mute them all.
yeah, Scott, it's an amateur mistake. It's a rookie mistake, but it happens. He'll be so mad I called him a rookie.
Oh
That's
yes,
so
he
fun.
is going to be
It-
very upset.
But I do want to read what he wrote about his winner pick because he made one. He said, so far liking Kirby, Tony, and the Quebec gal. I can't see Parv and Suri actually winning. Seriously, does Suri have to be on every reality show ever now?
Yes.
She
Based on
actually does.
gameplay so
Beats
far,
the rules.
Kirby looks very good to be the winner, and she's where I'd put my money. But who I want to win? God help me, I kind of think I want Tony to win.
Hey,
Why the hell
alright.
not?
Yeah, go for
So
it.
I guess if one of you is picking Kirby, I'll take the gal from Quebec. So I think he's down
No,
for Tony because the gal from Quebec is gone.
Yeah, you guys
Girl,
don't
the
both
gal
suck his
from
picks.
it's Tony. Scott, you've
Stay
picked Tony.
loyal.
Scott,
But it's
Scott,
okay.
your official pick is Tony
He's-
because the
he's
gal
New
from
York,
Quebec
right?
is gone.
Yep, it's
Tony's from New
okay.
York. There you go.
Tony got me a win.
Where's he,
It's
Jersey?
all right.
And then he followed up with, "Wow,
Boston?
not sure that made any sense. I suspect Kirby will win. I want Tony to win as of now, but if Kirby is taken, I'm going to take the veer and pick the girl from Quebec." Well, the girl from Quebec was taken, so
Oh,
you
it's
get
Tony.
Tony.
He'll like that. It'll be fine. Tony's not
Tony's
winning.
a fine pick. It's okay. Tony's
I mean,
a
Oh,
there's
fine
Tony's
pick.
not-
good pick at this point.
Honestly, there's not a single person, except maybe Tommy. But I like him too.
I like Tommy. Yeah.
I like Tommy, but Tommy's very quiet, which I think is going to
Because
play
he's
well
a
for his
lone
game.
wolf, David.
But here's what I
Mhm.
think: in an environment of huge personalities, this guy and Cats too is fading into the background, kind of like the guy who spent the
Yep.
entire season up to his neck in water because he didn't want to remind people how big he was.
Right. That's smart. But
Or
I
even
think-
Gabler. I know you all hate him, but
Right. But I mean, but I think that with him, if he continues to play that way and he gets to the end and he's sitting next to someone from Australia, I mean, there's going to be Australian people and they're not going to vote for somebody that didn't play hard.
no, that's an interesting thing. Do you think that's going to play? I think the Australian players are not going to vote for a countryman over who they think is the best player. One thing about Australia, they tend to vote for the best player. They don't
I think with
they
the
don't vote
American-
angry usually. They
I
don't
think
vote
the
bitter.
the American players that you have are going to be the same way. They're gonna
Yes.
Yeah.
they're gonna vote who deserves the win.
Right, that's what I'm
period.
saying. So that's what I'm saying. One of these international players, if they play the best
That's
game,
what-
could very well win.
You got it.
Yes, but it's not going to be the ones that are hanging
But the
out
other thing,
and
what does that
hanging
do?
back?
What does that do to the franchise if the obscure guy from Finland wins? It might not be a bad thing, right? Certainly
Yeah,
for
little-
Finland is
a
now
little
claiming the
boost?
title
No.
of sole survivor of the
Well, it
world.
helps them a lot, but I
Right.
think there'd be a lot of viewers that'd be upset. I'm going to guess if you go on, there's a lot of people that are mad that David and George are gone. A lot of AU Survivor fans.
Oh sure. I mean, there's.
Well, I
such
mean, I'm
big
sad George is
favorites.
gone because he's good TV.
Yeah.
We say every time they play, there is a game like this where it's returning players. We say all the time, like, you got to get rid of those big players. You got to get rid of them.
And they're
They never
doing
do.
it
The Aussies will do that.
Yep.
because the Aussies
They
don't
don't know-
screw around.
The Americans not so much. Oh, we'll leave them
We
as
love
a
you.
shield and we'll use them later.
We love all you
Uh,
in
yeah,
Australia
they go-
because I got to say the Americans would be like, oh, let's just play with them for a couple of weeks and use them as a shield. And what did Kirby say tonight, which I thought was very profound? Shields are bull crap, basically. She said, I don't believe in the shields. I don't think that's a smart move. We get rid of them when we can.
And that's why those two men are gone.
Yep.
Yes.
It was
Yep.
Kirby. She got rid of them.
She
But
got rid
again,
of the
nobody
big
is going.
players.
I'm sorry, Jamie. Nobody.
How do
is
you
going
think
to
she
let
got
her-
Sarah off of Shawnee? Because they didn't ever show it. So we don't know why the change
Because
of heart.
George was running his mouth the way he was.
No,
at
it didn't
Tribal, I
happen
think.
at Tribal. They went in
No,
knowing
she
they were
only
going
one
to do
thing.
it.
When she looked over at Sarah, though, because when George was talking and making his whole, oh, I'm from Bankstown and I know how to work people and I know how to get a vote and I know how to make alliances. Sarah was sitting back and the whole time shaking her head. Yep. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there was a
He
time
couldn't
that
see her doing that. There was no reason for her to have to do it.
but
she
there,
was
there
doing
might
it.
have there might have also been a time that we didn't see in editing that.
That's what I figure. I figure
Because
they walked
George-
in knowing they were going to do that.
Well, because George did warn Kirby about Sarah. Kirby could have said something to Sarah about it. Yeah, you're worried about Shawnee, but he's the one putting your name out there.
Right.
True. But
You
when
know?
he said the thing about the strong fist or whatever, because he was trying to say Janine was strong
They
fist.
were all like,
Pick
"Yep,
me."
we're done."
No, Sarah just like did like this. And
But I'll tell you
Kirby,
who
like,
he had
she was looking
fooled.
at Sarah, going like, "Come on."
You know who he had fooled? Janine. Totally had Janine shined
did.
on.
He did because
He
he
absolutely
went straight
bought
at
his
her.
shtick.
Yes.
And she voted for Shawnee thinking that
And
it would
panicked
save her.
and made Luke change his
Yeah.
too to save her, which is, I guess the
and,
rest of them are
and,
going to
and
be
Luke had to know he didn't have an idol because Luke has it in his pocket.
like, that's what I was thinking. There's no secret box on your beach, and you got the idol in your pocket. You think there's more than one? No. Not for 7 players.
Mm.
There's not more than one.
Australia's done that though.
With so few players on a tribe, though.
Oh, I'm pretty sure
You
when
would
they've
have
been
one
still
out- you'd
split, that there's been a player on one of the tribes that's had two.
I think you start out with one on the camp, right? And as it goes, maybe
Yeah,
you put
but
a second
Australia
one out. But
throws the spanners in the works. There's been extras. Jamie, how
Okay.
many times have they walked around with two? She is frozen.
no, she's not.
Oh, she's gone
and-
now.
Oh, did you boot her?
No.
Oh
No.
my gosh, it's just
Well,
us. What shall we do?
Christy, you are the Christy, this is like that Tom Hanks movie. You are the captain now.
We'll watch and make sure she doesn't get back. You gotta let her back in. So we have our winners picks,
We do.
and we will
Well-
see. We listen. If we're gonna have double eviction, or double eviction,
We're gonna have double kick out, double
double-
elimination.
double snuff next week.
There she is.
Hi.
Sorry
Give
about
her her
that.
spot back.
The
And
the
then
internet
2 more
likes to
episodes.
have a hot minute sometimes where it throws a fit here in the Midwest. So I'm back. My apologies.
I was just saying that with a double elimination, a double vote next week, and then 2 more episodes before we probably record again.
Yes.
Y'all, all of our winners picks might block.
They could, and that would be hilarious. I can't even say that wouldn't be the
I'm
funniest
gonna say that
outcome.
I think that there's a high chance that with 4 people going home, one of ours might go. But if we
Well, that's-
don't,
There is a
then
good chance.
we are. Listen, if we come back next week and we all still have our winners pick, we are the greatest podcasters that ever lived.
Are we not that already?
The greatest sort of
Says-
reality
says-
TV
Jack, I'm
podcasters.
throwing down the gauntlet here.
says the girl that literally had to like restart her StreamYard in mid sentence.
Listen, it's not always about physical strength, Jamie.
That's right.
Sometimes
Or
it's
internet
other
strength even.
Exactly. Sometimes
Amen.
it's other strength.
You got
Okay,
it.
so going forward, I think we have discussed this briefly as we're going to go Wednesdays. If they
Guys.
continue to do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're not going to try to do what we did tonight, which is watch the episode and jump right
Because
on.
none of us knew there was a 3rd episode this week. We
Nope.
thought it was going to be 2 weeks. We have been scouring the interwebs trying
If
to
it
figure out
wasn't
when
for
the
Scott,
schedule
we
is.
wouldn't have even known.
And
Because he was mad that he got spoiled by George.
And I just don't understand how it is in Australia that what this network is doing. Okay,
They're so
it's
secretive.
like a secret. Do they not want people to watch?
To show up. Like you're gonna
People
throw
are-
a party and you'll be like, we'll let you know
Tell
2
us,
minutes before
yeah.
it's on.
I do. So, but we're assuming there's going to be 3 again next week. Is that confirmed or is that just for sure?
No, I mean, Channel 10 has put it out there
It
that
said
there's going to be
Sunday,
3.
Monday, Tuesday, but did it say the dates? Like what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? We don't
It
know.
did not.
So I'm just saying.
So we're getting 3. We are getting 3 episodes next week. How many episodes do we have in total? What did it say? Was it 10?
I
10.
thought they'd said 10.
But I don't know now because they said
Is it gonna
5
go
weeks, so
3?
it could be 15.
So wait, is it gonna go 3, 3, 2, 2?
It's gonna have to cut down because they're already, hitting the halfway with their
I
days.
bet you it'll be
so-
that 3, 3, and then 2, 2, and that'll be 10 episodes, and we'll be done. So next week, 3 more episodes. Lots of people gone, and I'll just say that no
I
matter
hope
who
that we
goes
still
home,
have
we will
our
be
people.
sad to see them go.
Yeah, I
whoever
hope
it
we
is.
still have our
It's a good
people
group.
just for the fun of, our bragging rights. But
There will be betrayal.
all sorts of
There will
betrayal.
be
lies.
lies.
There's going to be someone's going to get a new nickname. Somebody's going to kill somebody with that nickname.
There will be a new king or queen.
I mean, this is par to the course, but if you guys have anything, especially considering that our chat was down for the first half, but if you
Yeah,
guys have
that
anything that
sucks.
you wanted to add to this, if there was something that you really loved from the episodes or something that really irritated you,
Or
on
if
how
you
they're
thought I'm
doing
totally
this,
wrong, which is a valid criticism.
if you just want to point out where somebody's wrong, that's fine. You can do it too. But you can send that feedback to
But we're never wrong, but that's okay. You can try.
on paper. You can send that feedback to
Make a good
Tally-
argument.
You can send it to Tally the Feedback at Yahoo. And also, if you enjoyed our coverage, please like and subscribe. You will help us build our base, and your feedback means that we can make a better show for you.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook and Insta at Tally the Votes, and anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast at the Jay and Jack Whole Enchilada feed. And speaking of Jay and Jack, we would like to give a shout out and a special thanks to the Jay and Jack patrons, and especially those who contribute at a certain level: Eckhart Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. And if you would like to be a patron, go to patreon.com/JNJack. Fans of Big Brother, if you didn't already know, you can catch up with it with us. We watch all of the episodes.
I'm excited to be back this week.
We watch the feeds. We do all of that, and you can check that out. We go on Thursday night following the eviction.
About 15 minutes later. Yep.
Yeah,
So
and we're
time
gonna
to everybody
cover
use the bathroom.
We'll
Get your
cover the
drink ready.
episodes,
Boom.
the live feeds, highlights, all of that. So we hope that we're going to see you again next week when we come back on Wednesday. As Christy said, we'll go on Wednesday instead of Tuesday to cover the next probably 3 episodes of this already amazing and special season. So we really, really hope that you're going to be there too. And, you know, unless there's anything else, I think this is where we're going to sign off and say goodbye. Hope to see you next week. Look out for each other. Keep your elbows off the table. And we'll see you soon.
Don't talk
Good
to
day,
strangers.
mates. Good
Especially
day,
if they say that.
mates. Good day,
All right.
mates.
Literally, no one's been
Bye.